just on the fucking phone.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. And you know who else gets it? Nobody else, Joe, but that doesn't matter. Hello and welcome to DWN Productions THC podcast, sponsored by Fast Custom Shirts, here, wherever the fuck you are watching or listening here today. Let's see if Joe will unfreeze and tell us how his week was.
I don't know. I mean, am I frozen or not? Am I talking to you
Not
yet
right now.
or not?
You
Uh,
are.
am I? I mean, I
You
don't know
were
what
for a
to think.
second,
Am I
god damn it.
frozen or not? No, that's just me fucking around. But anyway, uh, so hey, Tom. So yeah, this week, it's been all right. Thank you for everybody that's gone to the website and ordered some shit. I don't think it's anybody that listens to this show because I don't recognize any names or anything. But thank you to anybody else that has gone and done that because there has been a uh, quite a bit of people that have gone to the website and ordered some shit. So thank you. I'm trying to fill those orders. I'm going to be in Pittsburgh next weekend for the Horror Realm thing. I hope to see many of you there. Pittsburgh, for those of you who don't know, Tom went to school there. That's his alma mater. He did the prom there. He did the whole thing there. You know, it's like he did the freshman year and the senior year and some good shit. He had some good times there. He loves Pittsburgh, so I'm going back there. And people are gonna say, "Hey, do you know Tom?" And I'm gonna say, "No, I don't know. I don't know who the fuck that dude is." But anyway, how was your week, Tom?
Oh, it was all right. I didn't end up going to the doctors or hospital, so that was nice. I woke up one morning with my belly button full of blood, so I was hoping that was the end, but I guess it wasn't. But it doesn't matter. You can't probably hear me anyways because you're just frozen, and it is what it is, but I hope everybody out there had just a fantastic weekend. I hope it was much better than what I was doing. So
What do
Joe, you're
you
unfrozen
woke up
now. It was another
and
week.
you were laying there, and then all of a sudden, like you looked down, like your belly button was like had blood in it, or what?
No, I got up from the bed and went into the bathroom and then looked in the mirror, and there was a whole bunch of blood in there. So I got a Q-tip, and yep, a whole lot of wet, new, fresh blood, and I guess just being a big fat guy, my belly expanded and fucking tore something, or something, fucking a spider crawled in there and fucking bit it. I don't know, Joe. I don't really give a fuck. I just know I'm closer to death, and that's the only thing I'm fucking thankful
So
for.
your belly button right now is not bleeding, though, right?
No, it healed.
Okay, so you're good,
I
right?
was throwing peroxide and shit in there. Yeah, unfortunately.
All right, man. Fuck yeah, you defeated the belly button death, and that is awesome. Not many people do that. I've heard like so many people like, hey, once your belly button starts bleeding, that's it. You have like a 1 in 18 chance of dying. And Tom, you defeated those odds, man. You're here with us to record another podcast, which you love doing. You fucking love this shit. And the people that watch this shit, they love listening to you, you know. So fuck yeah, man. You're here.
Hmm. Thanks to all three of you. Unfortunately, this was the thing that I got lucky on. So that's not going to happen again for a great while, or if ever at all. So,
Well, tell us all about
mm.
scarecrows, man.
Yeah, a year, not a year, years ago, I sculpted a scarecrow head because I just wanted to make a scarecrow. And ever since then, I had this fucking idea in my head to just do it. And then I finally made it, and now I have a 8 foot tall by 7 foot wide scarecrow that'll just sit in the shop until the day I fucking die, and then someone will have to throw it out because, like all my shit, nobody's gonna buy it. So
But
I
let me
should
ask you
just
this,
go
dude.
and
Dude,
fuck myself, Joe.
do you have crows in your shop now?
Yes, it didn't work. And I keep the doors shut too, which I don't know what happens. I fucking opened the door to the shop this morning, and those sons of bitches are in there with little vests and little hats on, smoking cigar, playing poker. It was fucked up. So yeah, who gives a fuck? It didn't work. No one gave a fuck, so I don't know, Joe.
Tom,
don't
I know. I know what you're talking about. I know. I make shit all the time. I think, hey, this is going to be the thing that sells. This is what people have told me. Hey, if you make this, I'll buy it. Hey, all right, I make it. Hey, is this on your website? It wasn't, but here it is on my website. I don't get any fucking bites on my website. But anyway, who gives a fuck, Tom?
You just said a bunch of people placed orders.
Yeah, they did. They did. But for the shit that I wanted them to place orders for, they didn't. So, uh, yeah, it's good and bad, man. Things are
I
good and
don't think
bad.
I had a website order in 2 months.
Yeah, but when you get a website order, it's for like $800 because your masks are very expensive. But when I get a website order,
No,
it's
I
like,
don't know about
hey,
that.
here's a $10 order. Woo! All right, man. Um.
Yeah, I don't
Anyway,
think
Tom.
$800.
Anyway, Tom. It's people don't want to fucking listen to this podcast to
Well, that's
hear.
all right. People aren't here listening to anything, so we
That's
can say
true.
whatever the fuck we want, Joe.
True. Nobody listens to this or anything, watches this or any of that.
8 years later, and we're just here again.
Yeah.
Oh, well. At least in May or June, when the things have to be paid for and renewed, and 3 people are like, hey, where'd it go? I don't know. Hope you fucking had time to download the ones you liked, because I don't think old Podbeam and stuff's gonna save that for me just because it was previously paid for and recorded. So hey, if you like this shit and you wanna have older episodes, you better go start downloading that shit now, because pretty soon I'm gonna be working a job where I can't wear a hat and have to wear pants and won't have time for this. So
Oh, I know. I know.
enjoy, everybody.
I think I told you privately so as nobody would know, but yeah, I've got 2 years left on my lease at the shop, and which is probably 2 years longer than I want it to be. But yeah, if shit doesn't turn around within those 2 years, I'm closing that motherfucker down, and I'm gonna have to go get a job. Yeah, same thing. I'm gonna have to like what do I do? Oh, dress the way you want me to, or yeah, fucking get here when you want me to, and like do stupid shit that you want me to, and hate life that you want me to. And I've talked about suicide before, and yeah, I was pretty serious about it when I talked about it, but yeah, at that point, I'll be real fucking serious about it because I won't be talking about it. I'll just do it.
You won't be talking at all.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah, shit's
At
rough.
least they'll
Shit's
have those
really
old
fucking rough
episodes
right now.
downloaded. Sure is, Joe. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I know I can be a bit of a dick, but I'm not a complete piece of shit to where I don't know. I don't know. 18 fucking years of just busting my ass and sacrificing, and still here.
18 years,
Same.
18 years.
Yep. So who knows? I keep saying, oh, all right, I'm gonna stop doing the masks and I'll just make busts and shit. Those are more expensive to make, so then I'll just be out more money with shit that's more expensive to make that no one's gonna buy. I'm sorry. I would love to fucking have my shit priced at $20, $30 like you're buying cheap Chinese bullshit. But it's not. It's all fucking handmade by a very fat fucking man who does all the work. Some wouldn't even call him a man, so
Who
I don't
needs to
know,
eat
but
a lot? You know.
it's mostly from fucking carbs from spaghetti and beer, if we're being honest, because that's pretty much my fucking diet. Why? Because it's the cheapest fucking shit out there. They will sustain you, Joe. That's why. And because it's in my blood, being a fucking thick tongued wop, that is.
We'll get to that, I think.
I doubt it. You know why we won't, Joe? Mm.
Tonight? You can do
And
that
that's the
tonight?
end of our show. After I upload this.
All right.
I don't know if I'd do that though, because it'd be a mess. I think about it like I'd have to do it outside with a bag over my head,
Yeah,
just
I've
so
thought
some
about
of the
that too.
remnants are collected. They don't
It's
have
like,
to see
hey,
that shit.
I got to do it at the shop. You know, I got to do it like where the fucking garage door is open at the shop, and people are probably just gonna come rip off all the shit that I have there before they say, "Hey, this guy killed himself." Uh, nah,
It's all right. At least the place will be haunted for the next poor bastard that rents the unit.
you would hope, but I doubt it.
Oh, fuck. Just like February to freeze. That's all right. I'm going to drink some water. Maybe it'll come back.
You're a good water drinker, Tom. It's like, you know, I was gonna drink
Yeah,
water, but I got
I
back from
had.
the shop today, and Lisa was like, "Hey, I'm next door drinking. Can you pick up some beer?" Okay,
I
might
mean,
as
the
well.
doctor told me no, but fuck it.
Might as well just fucking drink, Lisa. I guess I'm fucking miserable anyway.
Hmm. Yeah, that's something I try not to do is drink when I'm in a bad mood. But lately, I've
When are you not gonna
discerned
drink then?
what a bad mood actually is. Yeah, so it is what it is, Joe. I didn't really watch much. I hope you did. But one of the movies that I watched was a big time pig fucking piece of shit. It was called Doom Generation. Have you heard of this?
I've heard of this. I have not watched it. I know Rose McGowan is in it, right?
Mm-hmm. She is, Joe.
Does she show her tits?
Oh, fuck. She does, Joe. She does. If that's the kind of thing you want to see is this poor fucking abused woman's breasts, then yes, this is in the movie, Joe.
But was she
But
poor and abused
it's
at
fuck
that time?
I mean probably it looked like one of her first movies. She didn't have any money or she wasn't a star at the time, so yeah. She was probably poor and abused for a lot less, Joe,
All right.
if I'd have to guess. So it starts out with old Rose McGowan in some kind of late 90s metal club. She's fucking looking like some alternative metal chick with her fucking bob haircut or whatever them goofy shits is with the fucking bangs, and then it comes down to like right there, the real stereotypical fucking shit. And then she has half a gay boyfriend, and they leave the old metal club and go to the drive-in to do a little fucking and sucking. Only he can't get it up because he's half a gay. And then a fight breaks out on their car, Joe. And fucking one of the people getting their ass beat just fucking ends up bleeding in the back of their car because he stabbed himself. And it turns out he's half a gay too, Joe. So they set out on a road trip. The guy acts really homosexual to the other guy. The fucking Rose McGowan doesn't care. She starts banging and blowing the guy, and they wind up at a gas station owned by some Koreans. They kill that guy. They end up at a hotel or a fucking drive-through restaurant. They end up killing that guy because they follow him. It's really fucking dumb, Joe. Like the how it's written, everything's like the dialogue's like, "Hey, why don't you eat my fuck? Oh, you smegma guzzler, you fucking turd burgling fuckhead." And like all the fucking dialogues like that. And whenever they buy something or mention a number, it's always 666. Like that's so fucking edgy and cool. And the whole thing is just a weird fucking homoerotic fucking, I don't know, some kind of maybe like some homoerotic Heathers kind of fucking shit. I don't know. It's so dumb and it's just written so poorly. Like a goddamn child wrote this shit. All the dialogue is fucking awful. Uh the fucking guy that they pick up at the drive-in, they don't show it, but I guess he has Jesus tattooed on his dick. He's like, oh yeah, I got this when I have sex with people. I can say Jesus is inside of them. Real cool. That's all right. It was such fucking rubbish, mate. The blokes would put it in the fucking bin. It it sucked. It was just trying to be so fucking edgy and so cool. Like, yeah, look at me. And it fucking like I looked into this shit and I guess this was like some 90s queer cinema shit. I don't fucking know. Wasn't for me. You'll probably love it. I did appreciate the fucking 3 seconds of Mortal Kombat footage they had in the movie. So I'd say watch it for that, but no. This was fucking I'm surprised I sat through the whole thing, Joe. I watched it on the computer, so I was checking the timeline fucking at least 5, 6 times to see how much longer was left in this fucking piece of shit. It was a chore to get through. It was just like a fucking 12-year-old making a movie trying to be edgy and cool. Maybe if you were a youngster when you saw this at the time, you might think, "Oh shit, that was wild." But nah, get the fuck out of here with all this bullshit. Fucking sucked. The acting was terrible. Fucking the dialogue was some of the worst fucking dialogue was ever written, ever spoken, ever fucking delivered. Uh it was just fucking garbage, dude. Just complete fucking garbage. I don't know. Dude, I don't know. And it's not just because it was some weird fucking homoerotic movie. I don't give a fuck about that shit. But
You don't.
it wasn't good.
Yeah, I've never seen this movie, Tom, but it's a popular one. You know, people love it when they, it's like, oh fuck yeah, the Doom generation, baby. Yeah, that like, uh, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what it's even about. So when people say like, hey, is this
I
a
just told you what it was about.
so? But is it a crime movie?
It's
Is it
like
a
a weird cuckold. Yeah, I mean, kinda. It's like a weird cuckold road trip movie.
so it's about a
It's fucking
cuckold
weird.
taking
It's
place in
like the
a
guy
car
that they
on
pick
the
up.
way to Miami or something. That's what you're saying.
I mean, they don't really go anywhere. They
I
really
get
don't
that.
go
I
fucking
really
anywhere. It's
understand that.
fucking dumb.
Yeah. So I might relate to this movie because I'm also not going anywhere. But
No, you just will for the other stuff.
mm, yeah,
The
whatever.
cuckolding lifestyle, if you will. But other
You
than
don't
that, I
give
don't
a fuck.
think so.
Yeah, no, fuck.
Oh, so what did you watch, Joe?
Tom, I watched American Ninja 2. So, if you've watched American Ninja 1, you would know it's about this guy that's an American and he's a ninja. He was like raised to be a ninja. Like he got lost in the woods and some Asian guy like molested him and also taught him to be a ninja. So he joins the army and meets a black dude that's his best friend. And that black dude is kind of a ninja too, I guess, but he didn't get molested or anything. But anyway, this time it's in the Caribbean, and like there's some Marines that are there, and they keep getting abducted by ninjas in the Caribbean. And there's a Marine there that's like kind of giving them up, like hey, I'm gonna take you guys to this bar, and then ninjas go and kidnap them. So they send in Michael Dudikoff, and I think the black guy's name is what's his name? His real name is Steve Barry. Is that right? No, they can't be right because that's one of our friends' name, right? Let's just say that that's his name. But anyway, they go over there and they're badasses because they're Army Rangers. They're not fucking Marines. And the Marines are like, well, what the fuck y'all gonna do? Well, what they're gonna do is kick some ass, Tom. Because when the ninjas come to abduct them, Michael Dudikoff fights him. And he's not a very good fighter, but it doesn't matter because these fight scenes in this movie, they look like shit. They're terrible. Michael Dudikoff, he has one look, has that look through the whole movie. There's a poster, American Ninja 2 poster. Look that up. He has that look through the whole movie. He doesn't emote for shit. Uh, it's it's a terrible movie, but it's kind of funny. The more you watch this movie, it's funny as shit, and it has some things that I really love in an action movie. Tom, you know that I love when somebody gets set on fire, right? If somebody gets set on fire and they're walking around set on fire, I think that's a badass stunt. I think like, hey, man, you earned your money on that. Another stunt that I realized that I really like a lot is like when somebody is like holding onto a chain or a rope and they're pulling them with a car and they're just kind of like twisting around getting pulled by a car. Man, that's gotta hurt. That's you gotta earn your money if you're doing that shit. That's like how much can they pay you? Not enough, I don't think. But anyway, what they're doing, Tom, they're abducting these Marines to turn them into ninjas that don't care if they're killed or not. They're gonna run out and get killed, and they do, because Michael Dudikoff fights all these ninjas and kills them, even though they're fucking Marines. It's like he doesn't think, hey man, these guys have been abducted, and now I gotta fight them. But he kills them. He fucking kills them. There's like some big baddie Marine or ninja that he's got to fight, and he kills that guy too. Like nobody can fucking defeat Michael Dudikoff. He's just such a badass. Not a good movie, but it is pretty funny. I would recommend, I guess, if you like laughs and kung fu laughs. You don't, Tom. You don't like any of this shit. Whatever.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to watch it because I don't like white people, so I would say that's not for me. Unless
Well,
it's Chris
that's
Farley as the
pretty.
American Ninja.
Yeah, that's hip right now to hate white people. So, and you've always been hip, Tom. You've always been like, hey, I'm gonna do what everybody else does. Hate white people. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. What'd you watch, huh?
That's all I can do. I tried everything else. Not enough, Joe. I watched The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Have you heard of this one?
Man, I've seen this movie like 3 or 4 times.
Have you?
I have.
Damn, you must really liked it to have never brought it up before after
It's fucking
watching it
good
so
movie.
many times.
It's a good movie, Tom.
Yeah, it's all right. It's not bad. I guess good would be a word for it. I couldn't go with great
It is
just
good
because
and bad
yeah.
and ugly. It's got it all.
Mm. Yeah, it's just a little long.
Oh,
It
is it? Like how
turns
long? How
out that
long's the
they
movie, Tom?
like I think it was about 2 hours and 57 minutes,
Mm,
and there's a good 30-minute-ish chunk that could have just been thrown out where they go to the Union soldier camp, and it's just the army leader or whatever getting drunk, and then they blow up a bridge. Like all that just could have been crumpled up and thrown on the cutting room floor and
fuck.
made
Too
this
bad they didn't
move
put you
a
there
little
so
more.
you could say, "Hey, bada bada da bada, this, that," and it's, oh
I
man,
They would have understood me
yeah.
because I guess in this movie too, like everybody was speaking their own language. So if you had like, well, they didn't have Spanish actors. We'll get to that. But if you had like an Italian and American actor, the Italian guy would speak Italian and the American would speak English and shit. And like these Italian movies do, they just fucking overdub anything. Anyways, it starts out with Clint Eastwood and some Jewish guy playing a Mexican. They have a little scam going where the fake Mexican, he's wanted for rape and murder and all the good stuff. So Clint Eastwood turns him in, and as they're about to hang the guy, Clint Eastwood shoots him down like he's fucking dead shot or some shit. And then they ride off on a fucking horse and split the money, but things go south and he doesn't want to Clint Eastwood that is doesn't want to do this shit anymore, so he leaves the fake Mexican in a desert. The fake Mexican finds them, and then it's just a back and forth kind of cat and mouse thing. And then old Lee Van Cleef winds up, and there's gold buried in a what's it
Old
a
angel
grave
eyes. You mean?
that they all want to find. Yeah, old anal eyes. Yeah, I mean, it was good. There's a lot of fucking like I don't want to say cliche shit because this is probably I mean this is where all the fucking cliches came from, and Quentin Tarantino pretty much, made his career off of this fucking movie. But it's all right. I mean, it's worth watching. It's just fucking long, and they love that music so much that they didn't fuck. They just let the whole goddamn song play. And even if it's just people walking or riding a horse, they just let the whole 18-minute song play. So I would say, as far as Italian movies go, it's great. But if we're just judging on a regular movie scale, I would say it's good. It's worth the watch, but it's it's a little fucking long. Some of this shit definitely could have been cut and shit could have been trimmed, but worth a watch. I'll never watch it again. There's some cool shit in it, but there's some long shit. Like that whole thing with the fucking Union soldiers and blowing up the bridge. That just could have been you could have threw it the fuck away and we would have missed nothing. The story still would have flowed. It would have flowed better because they just kind of stopped there and say, "Oh, we got to get across that bridge." We didn't even need a bridge for them to get across. It was, I guess, they put it in there just so they would have some kind of Civil War element instead of it just being in the background. But even when they get stopped by the losing army, and they're just like, "Oh, you can't fucking get wounded or you can't fix your wounds here. You got to go to the church or whatever." Like that whole scene could have been fucking cut.
Shit,
Didn't
yeah, that
need
was
that
great
shit.
when they pull up and it's just like they start. Yeah, we're not the gray, baby. This is just dust. Yeah, that's awesome. Fucking great scene. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Tom. It's like it's close to 3 hours, but it's not 3 hours like Avengers Endgame, which is like over 3 hours. And that's a piece of shit. That's a huge piece of shit that you love. And that one was on your top 10 of something of whatever 3 years ago. Uh, but this movie,
Yeah, if you're
this
making
movie
a
is
top
great.
10 comic book
And
movies.
I'll watch this. No, it was on your top 10 of the year. I think it was like your number
Well,
one.
yeah, if that
Two.
was that year, then what the hell else was out? And I
Yeah.
wouldn't say it was number
So, but
two.
this movie is fucking great. This movie is it's an awesome movie. Yeah, it's long because it's got a long story to tell, Tom. You know,
It
but
doesn't really
unlike
have a long
unlike
story to tell.
Avengers, whatever the fuck, Avengers 3 hours. That's what we'll call that movie.
You know what
Uh,
it's called, Joe. You've seen all the movies. You know
yeah,
what it's called. You've seen
Avenger
more Marvel movies than I.
Avengers cocksuck is what we'll call it. And yeah,
That's the one with
yeah,
China.
and not good. And you loved it, but you don't love this because you hate your fucking roots. You hate your Italian roots. And man, that's a sad thing. I mean, this is a good movie, Tom. This is a really, really good movie. And yeah, it's long, and you have very little patience. Like you youngsters, like don't like to pay attention to anything unless there's like fucking Robert Downey Jr. like in a helmet, like oh let me do this, and then you love it. But no,
I would have went with Robert Downey Jr. in blackface, and I'd be like, yeah, I did love that one. That was good shit.
but yeah, I agree with you. Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is a tremendous movie. It'll never be in my top 10 because it's a great movie, but you know it's no Excalibur, you know, because that's under like 2.5 hours. But yeah, you should keep your movies under 2 hours. I get it, but yeah, right, Skylar? He's a good old doggy. He's a good old doggy. You're a good old doggy.
So now it's your turn.
So Tom, I watched a movie called Erotic Nightmares. You ever heard of this one? Of course you.
Yep.
This is what you would call a Category 3 movie, and it is part of the set that I bought from Arrow Films called the Made in Hong Kong, and
And you got it from Arrow, huh?
I did. And this is Anthony Wong is the main star in this movie, and he was you know him, right, Tom? No, you don't.
Mm-hmm.
But he was the star of Ebola Syndrome. You remember that movie? No, you don't. But it's a very good movie, Tom, about the Ebola Syndrome, very educational. Well, in this one, he plays a mild mannered guy that's just, trying to live life, and his wife, is kind of got a medical problem, so she can't really fuck a whole lot. So that's kind of bothering him. And this guy pops up to him and says, "Hey," puts his hand on him, and then takes his hand off. There's a tattoo of a girl there. Gives him the card. "Hey, call me." And he's like, "What the fuck's going on here?" And then that night he has like an erotic dream, Tom, of the girl in the tattoo. And like, what the fuck? What's going on? This is like such an erotic dream, and he wants more of those dreams, Tom. So he goes to the guy and says, "Hey, yeah, I want more of these dreams. Here's some money." And he gets more of those dreams, but they end violently. Turns out like shit, like bad shit's happening to his family, like people being killed. And Like you think that's where the movie's gonna go. It's like it's gonna be this guy versus this like this mystic guy that did this shit to him. But no, because spoiler alert. Hey, if you don't want to hear more about this movie, because I know a lot of people haven't seen it, then quit listening right now. But anyway, he kills himself, Tom. He kills himself after his wife dies and his mom dies. He kills himself. So then his brother comes back from Malaysia. Turns out his brother's into all the mystic shit too. And it turns into like a big mystic fight between his brother and the guy that like put this curse on him. Crazy shit. But before that, it was just like, man, there's a lot of whole like crazy like sucking and fucking and these Chinese girls, they're not very erotic, because they're all fucking thin and flat and everything. They look like little boys. So I'm not into that. Tom, you might dig it. You might fucking dig it. But shit, it's a good movie. It's a really, really good movie. Once you get past the first half, which is just, soft porn, they're like, holy shit, this is good. And I'll tell you something about Arrow. I think they clean up these fucking movies that they find more than anybody else does. I'm a big fan of Severin because they're buddies of mine. I'm a big fan of Vinegar Syndrome because they're buddies of mine too. But I don't think they clean up their movies too well. These guys do. I would recommend this movie. This Made in Hong Kong. If you're into Category 3 movies, this is one I hadn't seen or hadn't heard of because I'm not fucking Chinese. I don't know about that shit, but I think you guys would dig it. Hey Tom, what'd you watch?
Nothing.
All right, so I finished up season 4 of Room 104, which is a series on HBO. It's an anthology series, and their gimmick. If you've listened to this podcast for a couple of years, I've talked about this shit, but you haven't. Nobody has, and I again am just talking to the fucking sky. But this anthology series always takes place in the same motel room, and they do a different story, and there's it's a different genre each time. It could be science fiction, it could be drama, it could be a musical, and it's good, man. It's entertaining. You never know what you're gonna get. Sometimes it's not for me. Like if they do a thing about a gay guy that makes masks, that's not for me. I'll watch it. It's like, oh, that was well done, but you know, uh, but then they'll do like a crazy horror story where there's a like the devil fighting with somebody else and it's good shit. And I think this is the last season they're gonna do. Maybe, I don't know, but I would recommend it if you have HBO minus or whatever. Pretty good shit. Yeah.
Anything else?
No.
You like Warlocks?
Sometimes I do, Tom. Sometimes I do.
What about this time?
Kinda.
Because of the weird sexual element?
No. You tell us, Tom. Tell us. We're talking about Warlock 3, the end of
Yep.
Innocence.
So in this one, fucking 32-year-old Kirsty from Heckraiser is playing a college student, which she
An
seems a
art
little
student,
too.
which is not really a student. They just kind of go to school.
I mean, it is, as long as you're paying and you're in a school facility, I guess you can be considered a student.
Spoken as
But
a student. Very good, Tom.
Yep. But yeah, her and all of her white friends, because she doesn't associate with minorities, they
Because
all
you're
go
from
to
Colorado.
because what?
Huh?
Okay. So they all go to Roger Corman's studio in Ireland, where I guess there's a warlock trapped in the pipes. I don't know if these were like cast iron pipes. I can't remember if iron is something that traps or hurts witches. I know iron is an enemy of one of these creatures in movies or whatever. But her pothead friend kinda spins a nut on one of these fucking pipes, and then venom comes out of it, and I guess that's the warlock, and the floor breaks or something, and everybody's mad, and then a new warlock shows up to somehow kill people in even worse ways. And it's very not good, very of its time. All the fucking late 90s music made me want to fucking puke piss. And not a goddamn redeeming thing about this fucking movie at all. I guess Julian Sands isn't in it, so I don't have to see that fucking guy again, but that's not really a positive to say, yeah, go watch this movie because the other boy witch isn't in it. I don't know. It was fucking dumb. Uh, Shitty. Like, just dumb. It's one of those fucking movies where all the friends go to a house and get killed. They know they should leave, but they fucking don't for one reason or another. It's stupid.
All right. Well, I've got a different take. Tom is obviously upset. He didn't want to record tonight. We probably should have waited till tomorrow. But anyway, Warlock 3, End of the Innocence, stars a woman called Angel Boris. And she's a redhead that was in probably Penthouse and Playboy. And young me at the time, I might have been 20 something. I thought she was hot as fuck. She was always naked. She posed for those. And in this, this is her acting debut, maybe. I don't know. But she's a horrible actress, and she doesn't look very good with her clothes on. But that doesn't matter because she takes her clothes off a lot in this movie. Uh, but Tom's right in that it is a piece of shit. It has the mirror trope. The horror mirror trope where like somebody's looking in the mirror and then they look away.
She's not just looking in the mirror. She's like about to fucking finger fuck herself, and just she's rubbing herself up in the mirror for no fucking reason whatsoever. And then just goes, it's so fucking dumb. This is an idiotic movie where they just did idiotic shit, and I like it was fucking dumb. It was, what the fuck is the point of this? I'm gonna almost fondle myself in a mirror for no reason. Is it because you found this old stupid nightgown, or is it your nightgown you brought or something? It's so dumb, so fucking dumb.
So dumb. And then they have a cleaning montage where they play a song by somebody you've never heard of, and they're all cleaning the castle while the montage is playing. And
It's all this fucking late 90s shitty industrial alternative fucking bullshit that
yeah,
fucking
music
the Doom
sucks.
generation
Music
would listen to.
horrible, horrible music. I can see Tom and his Jinkos, just kind of jamming to this music. But
Fuck no, they weren't throwing pop at each other while they were wearing fucking makeup.
so the thing that confuses me about this movie, in the beginning, this warlock abducts a little girl, like a 3-year-old girl, 4 or 5-year-old girl, and I don't know what happens there, but like he's also abducting the Hellraiser girl to knock her up, to fuck her. Was that his intention with the 3, 5-year-old girl, to like knock up that girl to give her a devil child? I don't know.
I guess it was, but they couldn't say it. Now that you're saying it, like, oh yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense. But they at least had enough sense to not fucking say that in the movie and just left it ambiguous and confusing. Fucking idiots.
Okay, and then
And where does this take place? Like the Somerville, where the fuck is that? It doesn't look like fucking America at all. Some of the fucking people they hired clearly aren't American because they're speaking in shitty American accents. So
it
I
is a
just had to look up.
very nice
It's shot
movie.
in Ireland in the same fucking set to Pit and the Pendulum and all that fucking garbage Roger Corman shit was shot at.
But the thing is, like at the end, this Kirsty girl, the Hellraiser chick, she defeats the Warlock, and then she walks off. Like,
Then not
hey,
only defeats the warlock,
I
but the
beat it
warlock turns into this like fucking cool looking werewolf monster that you see for maybe 2 seconds and flashes. It's just like, all right, fuck face. If you took the time to make this goddamn monster and you're just showing it like fucking this, what the fuck is wrong with you? Use it.
because
You
it
spent
didn't
all
look
this
cool,
money.
Tom.
It
It
did
only looked
compared to
cool because it was
everything
in.
else in this movie.
No, if they would have took time to fucking focus on that monster, it would have looked like shit, like most
The,
monsters do. Uh,
mm-mm.
I'll tell you this: the guy that played the Warlock in this, he was fucking great. He was really, really good. He was much better than Julian Sands was in the.
Which isn't saying much.
No, it's not. But he's a lot better. He played a villain really well. Unfortunately, he's in a shitty movie, and there's nobody else that can match up to him. But this dude was fucking badass.
These movies were fucking terrible, and I will never watch them again unless I'm like fucking forced to or some shit. But yeah, these were fucking like this one wasn't even fucking. At least fucking the other two had some kind of idiotic charm to them because they were just like fucking weird amalgam movies and shit. This was just your typical of its time, late 90s direct to video, almost trying to be a fucking Hellraiser movie thing. It was this shit fucking and their stupid fucking styrofoam castle. Go fuck yourself. Shit.
Well, that's all I watched, huh?
Shit, Joe. Next week, you know what we're starting?
No,
We're gonna watch the Grindhouse movies, Joe. Have you heard of them?
no,
Would you believe me if I told you there were 5?
nope.
There's Planet Terror, there's Death Proof, there's the 2 Machete movies, and then we're going to pretend we're Canadian and also watch the trailer that was the contest winner that was turned into a movie. One of your favorites, Bum with a Gun. So tune in next week, or don't. I don't really give a fuck. And we'll watch Planet Terror. At least I'll fucking like it because that's my favorite horror movie. After
Hey,
that, I'll probably hang myself.
maybe I'll watch it. Maybe I won't. Maybe it's like, hey, Tom's all fucking pissed, so why should I? Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I'll watch it. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I know you don't give a fuck.
Hey, Joe, you like Spider Man?
No.
Mm.
So last time when we saw Spider-Man, he was about to get thrown off a bridge, and he does. They throw him off a bridge this time. The fucking the Jackal, Tarantula, and Gwen Stacy. They throw him off a bridge, and he fucking, what do Spider-Mans do? Throw a web, and they're like, "Hey, I'm not gonna fucking die because I fucking threw a web." And anyway, after that, he's trying to figure out like what's going on here, and um, what's her name? Mary Jane says, "Hey, Peter Parker, we need to talk. I thought you wanted to fuck," and he's like, "No, I need to get my shit together." All right, then fuck you. I'm out of here. So he doesn't, he's just kind of being a dick. And then, it's like, oh, well, it turns out, we got to find out who's doing. Ned Leeds, who's a reporter, is trying to figure this out. He says, hey, I'm going to talk to Professor Warren about this. They go talk to Professor Warren. Professor Warren says, yeah, one of my students, took the DNA from Gwen Stacy. He probably did it. He didn't. It was Professor Warren. Professor Warren is the jackal, Tom, and that's the reveal on this.
I don't know how all these fucking idiots have these fucking magical masks that can just fucking, talk with you like it's their mouth and the fucking eyes and brows can move. Silicone's about as good as we have for that right now. Maybe back in that day it would have been fucking foam latex and shit.
It was
But
good.
even then it would have to be glued to their face and it would have been a little stiffer than the stuff we have now. So I don't know if these fucking idiots at Marvel knew how masks work, or they're just like, oh, children, idiot, dummy fucking children's buying this shit. So fuck them. We'll just have these idiotic things that everyone's wearing masks and at least you'll be able to wear their masks around Halloween time without having to worry that you can't see and shit, because they can just fucking see everything and flip around. Cars are coming towards these motherfuckers who are wearing masks. They just jump over them and then throw the cars. They don't need to worry about getting fucking hit. So if you need a mask to wear for Halloween time, head on over to the Marvel Universe and buy something, because everything else you can't see out of, and you will definitely get molested and then hit by a car if you wear them. I can't wait for fucking next week's issue. And then we have the big 150th issue where Mary Jane and Peter Parker get married. I can't wait, Joe. I can't wait. Hey, Joe, you like lists?
I did, but I fucked up my list somehow.
It's unfortunate because this is the second time we're doing it.
Is it?
It is.
Okay. All right. So anyway, it doesn't fucking matter because this is another show that I'm not going to share with anybody. Um, we're doing our top 5 TV show theme songs, and if I could remember the theme song to shit, I don't even remember the show, then I would sing it. But so I'll just say, "Welcome back, Cotter," and I don't know if I go, "Welcome back to the podcast we used to talk about. Welcome back. Tom is mad again on this podcast. Welcome back. He don't want to talk and something shit." So that's, yeah. Number 5, Tom. Welcome back, Cotter.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
My number 5 is My number 5 is the theme from South Park, Joe. Have you heard it? It's sung by Les Claypool, world famous bass guitar player.
Never heard it. How's it go?
I don't know. You wouldn't like it anyways. What's your number 4?
And number 4 is the theme to Sesame Street. Sunny days make the clouds away. Tom doesn't want to make anything gay. He don't like the podcast.
Very nice. My number 4 is Spectacular Spider-Man. I have a special place in my heart for the 90s animated series, but the Spectacular Spider-Man is a much better theme song, and it is catchy. Would I ever listen to it driving around? No. Would I ever put it on in the shop? No. But it's a theme song, and the name of the show's in the theme song. So there you go. Number 3.
At number 3, I have theme song to The Wire. Each season was sung by somebody else, but it usually went like this: when you walk through the garden, you better watch your back. Because I beg your pardon. Something like that. I don't know. And Tom don't like the podcast. There you go.
My number 3, I have the theme from the Boondocks. Pretty good, pretty short, is what it is. It's a good middle of the list pick.
Nice. At number 2, I have
Number 2.
Love. It's exciting and new. Come aboard. We're expecting you, the love boat. Soon we'll be making another run. A love boat promises something for everyone. Set a course for adventure, your mind on a new romance. 'Cause love.
It's pretty good. My number 2 is the theme from Roseanne, the original one, or when they did it later with some John Popper lyrics. I don't give a fuck. It's a good theme, and it brings back nostalgia. So
Was
there
John
you
Pop
go.
fucking her?
I don't know. Never met the guy to ask. Either one of them.
Maybe one day, Tom.
Nah, I don't see that happening. I don't
I,
have much
I do.
time left.
I do see that happening.
I don't even know if I'm gonna have enough time left to make a list next week, Joe.
At
Might
number
not be
1,
here.
I have a show that most people would consider racist, but I don't even remember the show, so it doesn't matter. But I still remember the song. Just a good old boy, never meaning no harm. Fuck, I don't remember it. One day the something blah 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 born. Yeah, the Dukes of Hazzard theme song.
Well, Joe, my number 1 is not the Dukes of Hazzard theme song. It is the theme from Tales from the Crypt. Good stuff. It was made by an elf man, I think. So tune in next week if we're here, and we'll
I don't
talk
tune in
about.
this week. I mean, why? What the fuck? You know, if Tom, this guy that puts on this shit, doesn't want to put an effort into this, why should you put an effort into to listen? Just fuck this show. I mean, I was asleep before we did this. I mean, I should have stayed asleep, right? Fuck it, you know? Like, how many sleeps do I have left? Not many. Not many.
So if we're here, we'll talk about embarrassing childhood moments,
I'm going to turn this off.
and if we are not, then I don't know. If we're not, then whatever. I gotta say DWN Productions, just in case I'm around next year to do the taxes, so it'll still be write offable. Joe isn't here to plug, so he can go plug himself. Everybody, whatever. Boy, God.